I need you to hear this. Amnesty International just put out a report alleging that migrants at a Florida detention camp nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz were shackled inside a 2-foot-high metal cage outside in the South Florida heat. Without water for up to a day. Let that sink in. 2 feet high. According to the report, detainees call it the box. Guards allegedly used it as punishment for trivial or made-up infractions. One person told investigators 2 people were sent there just for calling for a cellmate's medication. Another said they saw someone kept in the box for an entire day. This site is run by Florida's Division of Emergency Management, not by ICE, so it sits outside the normal federal oversight system. Amnesty says that lack of tracking and registration meant families, and even lawyers, couldn't find people after multiple transfers. They call that enforced disappearance. Florida officials deny all of this. The governor's press secretary called the report politically motivated and said the allegations are false and dangerous to staff safety. But Amnesty's team says they interviewed detainees, advocacy groups, and even visited Krome, the federal processing center in Miami, where they found similar problems. Here's what the report describes at Alligator Alcatraz: overflowing toilets with fecal matter seeping into sleeping areas, limited showers, lights on 24/7, insects, poor food and water, inconsistent or denied medical care. People allegedly shackled anytime they were outside their cages. At Krome, which is operated by a private contractor, Amnesty and Human Rights Watch report overcrowding, dangerous delays in intake, inaccessible medical care, prolonged solitary confinement, racist abuse by guards. One account alleges men with hands cuffed behind their backs were forced to kneel and eat off styrofoam plates like dogs. An Amnesty staffer says they watched a guard slam a metal flap on a man's injured hand. Others say they slept for days on a bus with no toilet or AC while waiting for space. Timeline: the Everglades camp opened in July after a high-profile visit from Donald Trump. A federal judge ordered it closed in August after lawsuits and backlash. But in October, 2 appellate judges, both Trump appointees, blocked that closure, and the camp resumed operations with hundreds of detainees. FEMA reimbursed Florida $608 million to support the state-run model. Amnesty's recommendations are blunt. Close Alligator Alcatraz, end state cooperation agreements that enable mass detention, restore federal oversight and tracking, stop criminalizing migration. So what do we do? First, stay informed. Read the Amnesty report yourself. Second, contact your representatives. Immediate inspections, public release of medical and disciplinary records, end to prolonged solitary confinement for civil detainees. Third, support local legal aid and bond funds. Access to counsel changes outcomes. No one should disappear into a cage without a paper trail, not in the United States, not anywhere. I'll link sources below. If you've been inside these facilities or you work there, my inbox is open. This is about basic human dignity. Hard stop.